Hi everyone, Lensman Oz here. Welcome to episode 22 of my Pickle Magical 2 Let's Play series. Now, you can see behind me, I've made a small change to the farm. I did give that spoiler away the other day that I have upgraded it. So yeah, I've doubled what I had. I've added a couple more harvesters in here, a couple more planters, and I dumped all of my seeds in there ready to pretty much go nuts, really. The way I've got these hooked up, you can see there's no pipes or anything connected to the planters. Down here, I researched the transvector interface, which is, as you can see in the tooltip, a Thormic Tinkerer block. And you can see there's two here for each farm. So one is power, and the other one is items. Now, I was having a bit of trouble trying to work things out until I realised that each block is just really set up to just take the one item. I tried transferring power and items and it just didn't want to know. So the transvector interface is a fairly cheap recipe here, just some arcane stone blocks, ender pearl, lapis and some redstone, and then to bind them you also need one of these little doobies here, the transvector binder, which is again very simple, and it's just a case of right clicking on the block and then right clicking on a target, which in this case is the planter. With the power, I did come across the issue where I couldn't get the power to connect. Now you can see in there there's a an energy duct. What I've done is I've right clicked the transvector interface, the one with the power, and I've actually just clicked on the duct, not the item itself. And that allowed it to connect the power properly. Before that, yeah, whatever I did, I couldn't get it to work. So I have a separate block assigned to the duct and one to the planter itself. And I should put a sound muffler in there somewhere. It's awfully noisy. I also said about hooking up the AE system. It does connect to the draw controllers. It connects very nicely to the draw controllers. So, oops, everything in my inventory, everything that I have in these two sets of drawers down here, so this lot and the one outside near the farms, I have hooked into my AE system. Let me look under here. Just got some cables running. And it runs down here. It just connects to a storage bus on the back of that that controller there, and a storage bus just up there under that controller, and that puts all my items as available in my AE system, so that any of it can be accessed. And if I do dump an item that's in one of these barrels into the AE system drawers, sorry, it will go into the corresponding drawer, which is quite nice. So at this point, until I get a lot more drives and stuff set up, I will continue using these as they are, maybe with a few tweaks here and there. Another thing I did in between is I made up the QDS here, and it's bound to the quest for the liquid metals, and I think I've got like 2 buckets of iron in there. That's I was just mucking around to try and set it up ready for when I need it, to see how it all worked. You can see another block there, which is a portal to the deep dark. That's loads of fun to craft, and anything with an unstable ingot, I just don't like it. So that was yeah, fun and games to craft that one. But what I thought we'd do to hand these in, so it was craft an ender quarry speed upgrade number 1, and they are fairly straightforward. Couple of speed upgrades, upgrade base, and diamond pickaxe with efficiency 1 on it. And the ender quarry base is 4 ender infused obsidian and a burnt quartz in the QED. And the ender infused obsidian you may have remembered from earlier when we made the quarry. So hand that in, and we'll get a few more of these flux crystals, which make this QED faster, but I don't think that's where it's going to sit. I'll probably move that, so I might just dump them in a junk chest. So next item, as I showed you before, is Portal to the Deep Dark, which 4 quadruple, 1 quintuple compressed. So that 1 quintuple compressed, as you can see there, 59,000 cobblestone, and then 4 unstable ingots. So I placed a crafting table way off over there somewhere, and thankfully didn't blow up. So I was quite impressed with myself there. Yeah, so that was just a case of using these quadruple compressed down here and then creating a quintuple. I had enough there to make it, which is nice. I haven't been there yet. I don't really see a need to go there, except maybe to move the quarry over there when it's done where it is, to get some more resources. I need a block of diamond and some torches. So as you can see here, ores spawn twice as often as they do in the overworld in the deep dark. So I can probably jump in there, and without going down to the base of the world, I'll just dig a big hole and drop the quarry in. A little bit cheaty, I know, but why not? Okay, other thing I made was a crafting monitor for Applied Energistics auto crafting. Fairly simple. Just crafting unit, and then that storage monitor, which was that level emitter I was talking about in the previous episode. And I've just dropped that on the end of this crafting storage here. You can see I made the 16K one because 1K was just not enough. And you may also see in here that I've added patterns for the magical crops ingots, and also for the magical crops essences. So I don't have to stand out there and manually craft everything. I've dropped the master stone into the AE system, and because it can access the barrels, if I want to make an ingot or a bit of essence, I can just open this up and craft away. So nice and handy, a little bit less mucking around on my part. I might just drop them in there. So next, just made a couple of the machines that I may or may not use. I think I have to use them to create some of the other machines here, but craft a grinder, because there's some essence berries and an essence tank, and grinder, Sword of the Zephyr, resin energy cell, Daviccio ingot, a couple blocks of thormium. Fairly easy, just required the infusion, that was all. Oh, I've got another one of those crafting monitors as a reward. I may just throw him there. Right. Don't really see a need of eating any of that yet, or using the tank. I may end up dumping the tank worth into here. Yes, I know I have an AE system now and I can dump all the junk in there, but at this point, yeah, no. Don't want to. Right, pink slime generator, so craft a slaughterhouse. A lot of invar, machine frame, etc. So slaughterhouse. And that gives us some pink slime balls and a couple of cooked meat ingots. And then a meat packer. Again, fairly simple ingredients, except for maybe this flux igniter, which is just basically a battery operated flint and steel leadstone energy cell. So I've made that, and I've got them around here somewhere. Oh, they're probably in the AE system, I don't know. Meat. Yeah, it's in the AE system. Meat packer. So let's drop these in there. That's all of those quests. I'm currently working my way towards getting this AE Thermic Energistics panel. And these two, I mean, obviously the bedrockium ingot requires a lot of cobble, which is getting there slowly. It's coming from the quarry. And this semi-stable nugget requires something I haven't got anywhere near. Anywhere near in Thorncraft, which is the Ichor, or Ichor, or however you want to say it. So yeah, I need to research that, learn all the Cami stuff. I think it is Thormic Tinker Cami is all this stuff. So thought I'd give that a miss for the moment. In Mastery Part 1, sorry about that. Got a bunch here done. Same sort of deal. Lots of essence ones. Some nice. Too much junk in my inventory now. Let's dump these off so they'll fit into the AE system. Go. And that. And I think I will add those. Oh, got rid of that chest. These can go in here for now. I'll add them to my infusion altar. Yep, gotta hand that one in. So that was Manolin. Draconium's done. Cobalt's done. Diamond's 43%. Yep, there we go. Too much stuff in the inventory now. So dump this stuff in the AE system again. And I can just go in there for the moment. Can they sleep? Oh, not quite time. Now it is. So the diamond one's done. Not sure how close I was. Yeah, emerald's done, sorry. Signalum. Where are we? Almost there with Signalum. Lumion? Got none in there. What did I just... Oh. It's interesting. No Lumi messages. I'll pick that up. Let's throw these diamond seeds in here because I'm going to need them for that quest. So yep, getting there steadily. Might just what I might do is any of these ones left, I'm just going to hand them off camera because you've seen it all before. It's all the same deal. Oh, I managed to make the alchemical chest. Hand that in. Alchemical chest. So that's that dark matter and obsidian chest, etc. So I made one of them up. Let's dump this stuff in here. Diamond chests. Okay. I made this here. So this is part of Soul Shard's the old ways. So I've made some vile dust and some corrupted essence, and then made a soul forge. Now you can see the soul forge is sitting up here, and the soul forge is used to make crystals. These things here, soul shards, and these soulium ingots. So the way these are made is you've got to make that the vile dust, which is cooking soul sand in any furnace, and then you combine it with glowstone dust to make. Let's have a look. No, I don't have any at the moment. So let's just grab a couple of these, throw them in here, and then we make corrupted essence. This stuff, and that's, yeah, as I said, glowstone dust and the other one, the vile stuff. Throw that in as a fuel in the soul forge. Takes a long time, like, I mean, ages, and I think I keep running out of fuel here, so I may or may not leave that in there. But what it does, one ingot will make, I think it's like 8 of those soulium nuggets, just to be difficult. And you can also smelt, I think it's diamonds, to give you the soul shards. So yeah, that quest there gives us some more of that corrupted essence. And I was on my way to making the cage for it. So once you have the soul shard here, you put it on, I think it's on your hotbar, and then when you kill a mob, it gets bound to that mob. So every time you kill a mob from then on with it in your inventory, it counts the number of kills. And depending on how many kills you get, depends on how the soul shard works, whether it can spawn with the lights on, the player near, or any of that sort of stuff, or responds to redstone. So I'll probably get into doing that just to get, I don't know, a better mob spawner maybe. But to make the cage, you need 4 ingots worth of that soulium for this quest here. So it's going to take a long time. I made the Thormic Restorer. The Thormic Restorer is here. Fairly straightforward. Bunch of. It says very high. I didn't get any negative effects when I made this. But yeah, it's fairly straightforward in Fusion. And the reason, apart from the quest that I made that, is that it's required for this quest down here, for this repair talisman. It's one of the ingredients for that. So I made it, and I'll use it to build this item up. Also made a wand charger, and I'll take you outside to show you that in just a second, once I dump all my goodies off in here. Alright, what's on that helmet? Protection 2. Okay, so we'll get to this. I believe I've finished the tower for the moment. Away eggs. So you can see, actually you won't see it with this armor on. See, I've moved all my nodes up here. So I've moved some of the main ones up top, and I placed the one recharge pedestal in the middle. And then you just place it in, and it'll charge what it needs. You can see under the ground there are a couple of them. One was there's that node at the bottom. It was sitting over here and it was zapping other nodes around, and I think it actually destroyed one of the nodes I collected. So I've placed it down here, where hopefully it's far enough away from those 8 or so around the outside that it can't zap them. And I don't think it can interact with these ones inside the silverwood log. So I figured any that I find in silverwood logs, I'm going to place under here. And then that one can just be by itself, banished underneath the altar, underneath the recharge station. Not too sure how much I like the floor. I think it looks alright. Just something a bit more magic-y. There's void stone, some chiseled, so that's a chisel block, chisel obsidian, and then these ones here are also void stone. They're just a different design. I think that looks quite nice. One of the other quests there. Oh, and you may notice I'm flying. Now, I don't know if this is a bug. I don't. If someone can tell me if there's something I'm carrying that's giving me flight. I don't see anything else in my inventory or in my bobble slot or anything like that that should be the reason why I can fly. But I noticed that one day I think it was yesterday before I was recording here, I'd taken this armor off and I was doing some Thaumcraft stuff, and I went to fly upstairs and all of a sudden I can fly. Creative flight too, the same as if I was wearing that purple armor. Now I did go in, I've checked, I don't seem to be on creative, everything seems to be correct. I don't know why, but it's fine with me. I'm quite enjoying the ability to fly without having to worry too much about it. But yeah, just thought it was a bit odd. All of a sudden I now have flight when before I didn't with that set of armor. I haven't infused it, I haven't had any other chance onto it. I just somehow have flight. So, a little strange. I haven't done too much in here. I do plan to add AE into this system. And I will do away with this draw setup once I do that. And I will try and automate into the AE system all of the jars and all that sort of stuff. And I'll put the infusion piece up here. Now, I mean, I haven't quite finished the tower. I've got to put some windows in yet. But let me know what you think. I did a little bit of work. I thought I'd add this metal look to the top. I don't know. I think it's alright. Yeah, not 100% sure. As I said, let me know. Damn, can't put that way. That's not good. It will be unbalanced if I do that. Yeah, so what I was going to do was put that the AE, as I was just saying, the AE infusion provider, like right in the middle here, above here, and get rid of the mirrors. But I'm not sure how to run the cable yet, but I think it looks pretty nifty. Beginning to look quite nice as a tower. What else did we do here? Let's head down here and fix up these shards that I just broke back into their respective clusters, so I can dump them back upstairs when I get a second. And then, right, that's all of them. I think that's everything I've got to hand in. But I'll just sleep, and then I'll show you one more thing that I've done. Alright, so let's just quickly throw these back upstairs. What was I going to do? Put it against the post. And I think the idea is that symmetry with this setup is the best way to go. So yeah, looks right. Okay, the other thing I have done in between episodes, and you can probably see it as soon as I walk up here, there's a block here, which is a ritual stone, which if we drop underneath belongs to a ritual, which hopefully isn't using anything at the moment. Nope. This is the ritual that damages mobs. What's it called again? That's mine. Well of Suffering. That's the one. So I have placed the Well of Suffering underneath the altar here. I did put it one too close, but that looks alright having that block there. It does damage the mobs that are up in here. But that being said, you can see I started to clear out a spot underneath. And I will make this into the mob spawner down here. I'll move some cursed earth down, put a bit of a window in, make an area where I can walk in and out. And I'll have the mobs under here, and same sort of thing, set a lights up above to turn it on and off. Yeah, and that will be my automated blood or life point collection system. Go quite well there, and I did have the orb in there for a while, making up some of these slates. I think that was actually one of my quests, and I'm not sure whether it's counted. I needed one of them. Hey, there you go. So I've set that up on the automation, so it'll do 32 of them as well. Let's see here. So I'm going to start getting back into blood magic now. Once I move that spawner down, we'll be able to keep things a bit more automated, and I'll clean this big mess up that's above it, and it'll start to look tidy again. The only other thing I was doing is I had the comment from Jeremy, I think it was, who said about the Zavicchio hoe giving 9 essence per Manicchio harvest. That definitely is the case, and this is a little system I was just sort of knocking up to see if I could come up with a way of automating it. I was thinking of a bunch of autonomous activators around in like a little circle here, and just letting it go with a timer, and it does work. You'll notice this will break, and I'll get the 9 essence, so it definitely does work. And you can see in there I've got the hoe, and because it's unbreakable, it's not going to be a problem. It's just I've got to get my head around automating it. I think it'll work. I think it'll work quite well. I'd need another, I don't know, is that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 autonomous activators, and then hook up some redstone to all of them, and make sure I know when they're growing, and probably set a timer for, I don't know, a minute or 2 minutes or something. And it would probably be quite a nice nice harvesting device. Maybe put a planter underneath with a vacuum hopper or something, or a hopper hock or something underneath. So yeah, I may invest in that, put some time into this. But definitely a great tip. And if you are hurting for Manicchio, or you need to make some really quickly, then Jeremy's tip of using the hoe, and you can see it here when you hold down shift, it says 8 extra essence per one, so you get 9 for each harvest. And that's great. This system's only giving me 1 per harvest. As much as it's automated and fairly quick, that definitely would be a better use of power, I imagine. Starting to get a bit back stuff with redstone and stuff here, so I may turn those seeds back off. Alright, well, I was going to duck and bump off a couple more of the Twilight Forest quests we had in here, but I've yammered on for too long, and I'm going to have to leave that for the next episode. So I think I'll start the next episode in the Twilight Forest at an Ergas Tower, and we will see if we can complete Twilight Forest in the next episode. And with that will definitely be the end of it. As I've said before, like it if you like it. Please leave your comments. Let me know what you think, how I'm doing, and feel free to subscribe. There's a link for Twitter. There's also a link for player.me if you've never heard of that. Go and check it out. It's quite good. You can follow me on there, and I do post up the links there too. Alright, catch you in the next one.